Hi, I'm Brian Shea with the RV Factory. Today we're got one of our competitors' products, and we've got a chance to show you some of our key differences and key upgrades on the Weekend Warrior product over the mass-produced dealer sold products in the industry. So this is one of the #1 products in the industry in the toy hauler range. So let's start here right at the front cap. You notice we have a front one-piece cap. This is a plastic front cap. It's TPO, so you have a lot of give. You notice there's a lot of give in the front cap. Some of the disadvantages of TPO over fiberglass is that it does give so much, so when you're going down the road it buffets. That works all the seams, so they have screwed this cap to the sidewall here and across the roof. So as you're going down the road, those screws are working on the plastic. Plastic tends to crack when it's under stress and when it's under movement. So that could open up a seam here, open up a seam on the roof. This is definitely a more inexpensive way to go. We use one-piece fiberglass front end, so it's fiberglass reinforced. Instead of a plastic colored front, we actually have automotive paint on the front, so that reduces the chance of marring and chips and scrapes, and which plastic tends to do, so it tends to mar. Our fiberglass cap, again, is screwed all the way around the outside, but it is fiberglass reinforced, so there's less chance of cracking and those kind of things. So more inexpensive way to go. But you can see the give there on the front cap. Let's walk to the underneath the front cap again, where you've got a cheaper material up here. We've got plastic again, and you can see how it moves. It's not laminated, so it's just loose underneath there. Plastic again, it's tends to grow in the heat, so this will even get even worse as it gets hot. So you'll have a lot of wrinkling under there and give. Again, right here on the front wall, you can see everything from the switches giving. Very inexpensive way to do it, but you know, again, it mars when you're going down the road. You have rocks hitting it. It'll actually indent the plastic because it's a softer material than fiberglass. In the Weekend Warrior, by contrast, this is all laminated fiberglass, and we use the same fiberglass, the expensive fiberglass that we use on our sidewalls, up underneath. So you got the high gloss matching fiberglass underneath, and it's laminated to plywood, so there's no give in it. You also have that in your front area here. On our painted units, we have a rock guard that comes up to about here to protect the paint finish. So much better way to do it. Again, this is a cheaper way to do it, and mass producing, it's a lot quicker also. Let's move around here to the fiberglass sidewall. As you can see, and it may not come out in the video per se, but there is a lot of surface imperfections in this fiberglass because it's a very thin wear layer. It's about half of what we use in our gel coat. So you'll notice that our fiberglass is much shinier. It has less imprints through the fiberglass, so you see less telegraphing of the different items that are sandwiched in the wall. This is a laminated wall, but it's a much cheaper wall. So it's thinner. It has a thinner wear layer on it. You'll get to see our Vetracini fiberglass, which is a clear upgrade for, you know, thousands of dollars, and it has a great look. Plus, it's going to last a lot longer because you have that thicker wear layer. Another big area where our competitors then cheapen the product is, okay, they say they have a laminated sidewall. Well, you get to the sidewall of the slide out rooms, and it's not laminated. This is even a cheaper material. This is an aluminum, very thin aluminum substrate there. It's black, so it's a heat sink. It'll absorb heat, and then it is not even insulated with the same block foam that the sidewall is. So on our product, we actually laminate the sidewall, the floor, and the roof. So you'll have laminated products, and we use the same fiberglass on the sidewall as we do on the sidewall of the main unit. So you'll have the Vetrocini there and there. This is somewhat unsightly, but also it's a heat sink. And you notice that it's also textured, and it's on the large slide out there also. Coming around the side here, we have vinyl molding. So we have a cheap vinyl molding that really doesn't have a finished end on it. They put a little silicone in there to finish it off. On the Weekend Warrior, we actually use a double extruded aluminum that's about 3 times as wide as this. So we have a extrusion that fits over another extrusion and locks in on the outside. So you have a nice rub rail all the way along the side, not going to peel off over time. And these tend to expand and peel off in the heat because it is a vinyl. The next thing you'll find here attached to the rub rail is the bottom skirt of the unit. This is metal, and as you can see that it is textured again like the sidewall of the slide out room. The reason for the texture is because this is such thin metal that if it was flat metal, it would oil can so bad that it would be very unsightly. So they put a texture on a metal when you go this thin on it. As you can see, it just very, very thin. On the Weekend Warrior, we have a nice smooth metal, heavier thickness, and it wraps over the set, and you don't have that kind of give on it. This will actually move like that while you're going down the road. One big thing I'd like to point out, up top, we have over the top of our slide out rooms, we have a topper awning. So on your slide out rooms on your road side, we actually have a topper awning that goes over the roof and protects the roof from leakage. All you can see there is that they put a drip rail over the top, hopefully to take some of the water away. But we have a full topper, and that also keeps leaves and whatever off the top of your roof so that it's clean when it comes in. Okay, another key area is the fender skirt. And as you can see, again, this is a cheap plastic part. It's subject to heat and cold. It can crack. You notice that it's screwed very often here. If the screws aren't properly pre-drilled, it even increases the chance of it cracking at each one. By contrast, the Weekend Warrior, we use a metal stamped part there, so it's extremely strong. Once it's attached, you're not going to have any kind of problem with it. Again, look at the cheapness of this part, but it is quick to put on, and mass producing, it's probably the way to go. We have here a square door, and it's not even color coordinated. It's just raw aluminum, and you have very sharp edges both on the door and on the inside. So by contrast, on the Weekend Warrior, we use a radius door, color of the skirt area, so it's black. Much better looking door. Also, it's, you know, you're much less likely to either cut yourself or rip your clothing, or even, you know, chance of cutting the hose on that sharp corner. Here's another area you'll notice on our competitor's product. We have an aluminum ladder here. It's made up of multiple pieces. It's screwed together, so each rung is screwed individually to the extruded aluminum on the sides. You'll notice that this produces a really flexible, weaker ladder. When you crawl up this ladder, it really gives you the feeling of unsafeness, the way it gives and twists and stuff. On the Weekend Warrior, we use a welded steel ladder, and it's welded, each rung is welded all the way up, so it increases the strength. You don't have nearly the give that you have on this ladder. Additionally, we have a bit of a slant that we get out of our ladder, so it feels a little bit safer going up the top. You still have to be careful, but it's much better than that. All right, we're back to the back of the unit where the most important part of a toy hauler is the ramp door. As you can see, this is looks like an ordinary ramp door, but this ramp door in the ramp position has a 1,600 pound payload capacity, so it has a limit of 1,600 pounds. The Weekend Warrior, by contrast, has a 3,000 pound capacity in the ramp position. So as you are loading your heavier toys up, you got to really keep that in mind and make sure that you are not overloading this ramp, much less likely on the Weekend Warrior. Here's one of the nice features of a toy hauler with a porch package, and that is your porch awning. You notice that this awning goes clear across and extends out over your porch. One of the differences between the Weekend Warrior and many of our competitors' product is they use a cheaper version that has a hand crank. So you come out here and you hand crank out the awning, and then you take that out and put the crank away somewhere. With ours, you have a electric remote control switch. You can hit it from anywhere in the coach to put it in or out. So if the wind comes up and you're inside, you hit the button and it comes in. So here's an area that's important to me. It's your entry door. As you notice, we have the cheap steel steps here, which tend to rust over time, and they're a little bit soft when you walk up. But the big thing is the size and width of this door. I'm 6'1", and I am missing the top of this door by about 3 inches. So this door is actually 5'9" tall, and the width on the door is actually 28.5 inches. So the width on the door, 28 inches, the height on the door. It's a good thing they have some kind of padding here, because I'd be hitting my head into aluminum all day long. Here's our entrance door on the Weekend Warrior. You have a much stronger step area. These are all aluminum across here to prevent rusting. They're non-slip. And notice as we're coming up to the door, we have an extremely wide entrance door. It's approximately 30 inches, a little bit more than that. A lot of height here, so easy to get into, carry things in. You can come in with all your equipment on and get through the door. We're on the inside now, and again, this is one of the mass-produced products in the RV industry, produced in Elkhart County, probably one of the #1 products here. But they're all manufactured and engineered for speed. How fast can we get it down the production line? If you'll notice here, you have a nice brick front on this fireplace. Well, this is just an example of how you can make things really fast. So you got really a foam piece that has Velcro on it, and a person can put it up in a split second. On the door subject, again, you have very small interior doors. So when you open this door, you have actually not even the space of the interior opening, but the door comes out of it also. So you can see that it's a very small opening, very short also. This is our vapor door on the 4250. As you can see, it's a regular exterior door, so it has gasketing all around it. Our competitors use interior doors, which are not sealed around and have the gap at the bottom. You notice that this is extremely wide, much wider than that other product we were looking at, so easy to get in and out. We're on the inside, and I wanted to point out the air conditioning system here. It's ducted air into this living room area, and it's actually, you have a hollow roof here with fiberglass insulation, Then your ductwork is actually a foam core about 1/4 inch thick, and it's all taped together. So it gives it, possibility of having gaps and whatever in there. Then it's not very well insulated. So you have this in here. You don't have an adjustable vent. It's either open or closed. And you also only have 2 vents in the living room area, which is probably insufficient, and nothing in the loft. So off of 1 air conditioner, you have 2 vents that are ducted into the living room area. You can do the direct dump, which is probably what you're going to have to do here, because this isn't going to function very well. Also, with having a hollow roof, as this is, you have a lot more heat buildup in there, because heat will come into the roof and kind of heat sink into there and keep your ducting warmer, because it's not very well insulated. By contrast, and at a lot more expense, we at Weekend Warrior, we laminate the entire roof with block foam that is curved on the outside for water runoff. So you have really a one big huge block foam insulation. Then inside that we run our ducting, and it's actual metal HVAC type ducting. So it's metal, seamless, and it goes to the front and the back of the living area. So we can pump 2 airs into that area instead of just 1. So you really get a lot better effect for cooling. While a lot of our competitors claim lamination in their process, a lot of them don't even laminate the whole unit, and most of them don't. Weekend Warrior is one of the only ones that gives you a completely laminated roof, sidewalls, floor, including slide outs. So as you look around this unit, again, it's one of the big mass producers. This is a way for them to save time and money, and they do not laminate the roof of your slide out. They don't laminate the sidewalls of your slide out. Big savings there. So, but also these are big areas where heat, cold can come in, so you don't get the insulated value. And also the strength you get from lamination, the stiffness keeps the seams from working. So as you flex the unit down the road, you're much less likely to develop leaks when you have a fully laminated structure that's stiff and non-flexing. The floor in this unit, you can feel the floor in this unit. It is a OSB floor, which is a lot softer than, say, a plywood floor. And if you walk around on it, you can really feel the flex. So this floor is non-laminated. Yet I'm walking across our extremely stiff plywood floor. It's laminated. Again, it has welded steel, lightweight steel. It's a ultra high strength lightweight steel that we laminate into the floor. It's all welded, and gives you that additional strength and stiffness, especially important in your garage area where you're storing your heavy equipment. Here's an area that's usually hidden from view, and underneath here you have a cheap plywood base. Here's a big area savings that the manufacturers use, and this is a plastic tub that's riveted in. So it's a 2-piece tub. You have a seam right there in the middle. And then you have this part that's on top, and it's a very thin plastic that expands with heat. So you can see it kind of waves a little bit there in the corner. It gives when you walk in it. So it's a very inexpensive way to do it, but it's quick to put up. In mass production, it's probably a thing that saves them a lot of time. Again, you can see some of the cheapness here. We have these double pull faucets where You know, they're hard to adjust for heat. You know, they can kind of tend to get a little bit warm if you get them adjusted wrong. Here is our Weekend Warrior one-piece fiberglass shower. So it's a residential shower. You have a single lever faucet. You have soap dishes molded into the side. It's very strong, fiberglass reinforced, seamless, so you're not going to have any water leakage. So these are very inexpensive faucets, plastic insides. This is a very cheap shower with a very inexpensive shower door. One area that we find our competitors cutting corner is in the wire management area. We, as you can see, this is kind of the center of where the wire management is, where you have your batteries and your generator. We have two separate compartments here. As you can see, there's not very much additional space for storage or for holding tools or anything in here. There's a lot of dead space up here, and you just have a mass of wire and hydraulic lines running every which way, and a lot of this is not protected from the elements. As you can see, gaps and everything there through the side where water can just come in and get into your electrical area. You can see that this is put in and it's open underneath, and there's a lot of foam and stuff to try to seal it up. A lot of the wiring is actually ran below, so there's a potential there that you could grab that or roll over something that would pull on that wire and pull it down and disconnect it. And look around here, then it comes up over the frame, runs down the frame. Whereas in the Weekend Warrior, we have one big compartment up front. It's all sealed, and it gives you a much easier area to access wiring, and it's much better organized. As you can see in this particular model, which is one of the more popular floor plan arrangements, you get in the garage and there's 8 tie downs total in the entire garage. We have nearly double that in the Weekend Warrior. We have approximately 16, 15, or 16, depending on the garage layout. So, and those are all anchored into steel. The Weekend Warriors are anchored into steel. Not sure what these are anchored into because this is not a laminated floor. This is a stick-built floor. You can see there's a step even into this area back here, so it's even a thinner floor than they have in the front section. And here's a compartment where the LP tanks are. And as you notice, there is no insulation in this door. This door is just one flat piece of plastic. So the doors are a lot cheaper. I mean, you just go through and there's a lot of savings here, but probably things a customer wouldn't accept if he knew he was getting them. So our LP compartment door is right here. It's insulated, 2 layers. It has foam in the middle, so it's very stiff. Also, we use the same high-grade fiberglass on our doors that we use on the side of the unit. This is an area where our competitors really cheapen things by using a cheaper fiberglass. This is one area where other manufacturers of toy haulers really take shortcuts, and that's in the axle area. We have at Weekend Warrior 3 8,000-pound axles for a total of 24,000 pounds GAWR. Many of our competitors use 7,000-pound or 6,000-pound axles. Really not a great place to take shortcuts because of the weight you're carrying with your toy hauler and balancing that load. It's better to be overkill, and that's why we've overkilled it here. Also, we've used G-rated tires. Many of our competitors use a base of an E-rated tire. Really not a good thing. We wanted to overkill this area to prevent blowouts and occurrences on the road. From a safety aspect, G-rated tires are fantastic. So that's what we have here at the Weekend Warrior Toy Hauler in the Axle area.